Something big has shifted. I saw it firsthand at the conference this weekend in Las Vegas. Now I was there. I saw some powerful players in the marketplace made bold, unexpected moves, and I'm going to break it all down for you in this episode. We're also going to talk about XRP, connection with Meta, but I did go to the conference last week in Las Vegas. Saw a lot of powerful things. A lot of people made big announcements. Starts to look polished as we get closer and closer to the game-changing moment.
You could literally feel the momentum in the air. All of the narratives are lining up. Capital is moving and hype is starting to rise. Of course, Ripple had a major presence. From the branding to the panels to the faces behind the scenes, they were everywhere and with good reason. There were long lines, packed sessions, a level of excitement I haven't seen in a long time. This wasn't a maybe one day kind of crowd. This was full of builders, investors, institutional voices, and media teams capturing every angle. Even the visuals told a story. Digital billboards, partnerships announced in real time, and whispers about huge moves coming soon. Let me show you just how long the lines were to get in.
XRP Las Vegas! Come on, guys! Come on, guys! Yo, what's up, Troy? Yo, come on, guys! XRP, let's hear it! Come on, XRP!
The XRP community showed up strong, real conviction. You could feel the momentum building. People are starting to position themselves for a breakout. The talk was all about secure wallets, on-chain payments, tokenized real estate, and AI integration. This is what it looks like right before mass adoption. As we head into the next phase of this cycle, I want you to remember something. When the noise dies down, the ones who win are the ones who saw the pattern early and moved with clarity. I'll be breaking more of this down over the next few weeks, but just know this. Las Vegas was a major signal on where XRP is heading, and we're closer than you think. I also ran into some major players in the crypto space. I shared an elevator ride with Michael Saylor, linked up with Scottie Pippen to talk about his crypto project, and had a great conversation with Grant Cardone about XRP and his Bitcoin and real estate investment initiative. Here's the video from that conversation. What do you think about XRP?
Look, I was asking my brother about it this morning. I think you interviewed Gary, he lives in St. Pete. I don't understand XRP. I want to believe in it. All these things here are kind of like a god. You could believe in all of them, but it'd probably be better to pick one. So what we're doing with real estate is we buy institutional quality assets, large 450 units, 300. We add $15 million of Bitcoin in purchase. We put a total fund together of about $122 million. And we think in year 4, through dollar cost averaging of the rents, monthly we add Bitcoin to purchase out of the rent. And then at year 4, we end up with about $125 million worth of Bitcoin. And we didn't buy that Bitcoin. Our real estate bought Bitcoin. When you put these two together, you're putting two best-in-class assets. So they're literally paying into a piece of real estate. They need to live someplace. And they can actually be investors with that. And they can earn Satoshis as they pay.
Also, Brad Garlinghouse dropped some major bombshells at the conference. Here's that video.
Look, the Bitcoin community is not our enemy. They really are not. If they do well, we're going to do well. We might do better. It's just it's not a zero-sum game. And I think the one thing I learned, I was in Silicon Valley for 24 years. The one thing you learn is tech is not a zero-sum game. We're going to grow the pie. And, David Schwartz was up here yesterday talking about rewiring the entire banking system and what this looks like maybe in 10 years or 20 years. We underestimate how big that change is and how profound it is. And we get there by being collaborative and working together, not against each other. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Looking forward, and I found really interesting just in how many ways and how many different ways you're working sort of across the landscape. Certainly, when you look at the Hidden Road transaction, frankly, just you're kind of unshackled now. Our conversations now are more about what's going to happen than what has happened. Maybe though you can talk a little bit about that.
I actually ran into Brad Garlinghouse at the Bitcoin conference. Walked right past me, looked at me, said, he waved. I don't know if he remembered, he knew me from all the stuff I put out about XRP, or he just was saying hi. I don't know, because he had 4 security guards around him. He was like 8 feet from him, so I couldn't say hi to him. But I don't know. But he was there. He's pretty tall too. He's like 6'2". But I'm glad he's standing up to the SEC. Now he sent a letter demanding clarity on when tokens stop being securities. 2017 is the next key date, coming up in a few weeks. That's the SEC settlement update. Could trigger a major price shift. Now, XRP, the good thing I love the prediction market because that tells us more information than anything else could, because whenever people put their money down on something, they really believe in it, or they have inside information. One or the other. Either one is good for us. Now, the odds that an XRP spot ETF the odds they're going to add one keeps going up. Now, it was at 75 3 weeks ago. Now it's at 84. That's pretty high odds that we're going to have one by the end of the year. So I like to see that. So a lot of people say, why is XRP not moving? That's the biggest question I get. Why is it not moving? Should I give up? First of all, movement doesn't look like you think, especially if you're a new investor. It doesn't look like you think it looks. Humans only feel, and this is the physical world, humans only feel acceleration. We don't feel speed. And that's actually one of the things of physics, is that right now the Earth's going, I think, 20, 30,000 miles an hour. It's spinning at a certain rate, and it's also going around the sun at incredible speeds. We don't feel that because we're moving with it. Now, if the Earth's spin just speeded up real fast, 10%, we'd all spin off the Earth. Because we only feel acceleration, we don't feel speed. The same thing applies to assets, crypto, stocks, and everything else, is that whenever something goes up rapidly, we feel that. We're excited, whatever. Whenever things going slowly, we don't feel that. So we feel like it's not moving. That's why a lot of times you get pulled over on the interstate, you tell the officer, I wasn't speeding. Yes, you were. It's no way, officer. I was going to, it's no way. Julie, you think I was speeding? No, I don't think so, honey. Oh, he has to be lying. He's out to get me. That officer, there's no way I was going 100. And then, the corporate dudes, I don't know why, but they argue with the cops. Buddy, what's your badge number, buddy? I swear, you're going to pay for this because I wasn't going 100, buddy. You're going to lose your job. Oh, damn it. Honey, calm down, honey. Calm down. Oh, he's not getting away with this, honey. I'm not going to stand by and take this. That's how they are. But you don't know you're going that fast. You probably are, because the cop got a radar gun. He could prove it. Because you didn't feel the acceleration. You didn't feel the speed. You was going 100 miles an hour, but you didn't look at the smile. You didn't feel like it because you don't feel that. So that's what happens also with assets, is that you don't feel like it's moving because it's not moving rapidly, so you give up on everything. But there's reasons why XRP is not accelerating, I should say. Big investors buy slowly over time. Now, what's happening with all of crypto, not just XRP, is the accumulation phase has been drawn out because the big players want to get their money in at a longer time period. Big investors buy slow over time to avoid moving the price. Once they're done buying, what we see in the stock market especially, we see stocks certainly jump up. We're going to see that with XRP. We're going to see that with Bitcoin and all these other things that should be a lot higher than they are today. Also, another concept called price compression. Whenever you have an asset that trades in a tight range for days or weeks, even though there's a lot of catalyst events, and also news that should be pushing it, we see that it gets pushed down like a spring, and one day it pops out. Then that could happen for weeks, days, even months, even years. That's what happened with XRP and when Trump got elected. And there's also that big legal overhang that stands there. It's keeping a lot of people cautious. Now, when that legal clarity comes, hopefully this month, the price can't spike very fast. Yeah, I don't argue with cops. So I don't know why they're a lot bolder than I am. Princess Leah. So I want to talk about XRP, Meta, maybe choosing XRP. And then we're going to talk about these energy stocks, and I'll let you guys go for the day. So Meta just said no to Bitcoin. The investors wanted Meta to start buying Bitcoin, much like Michael Saylor. The board of Meta said they're not going to do it. But there's rumors out there that says Meta could possibly choose XRP as a treasury coin or token. A lot of companies are already out there doing it first. With the court drama, ETF decisions, ripples pushing back on the SEC, this could be XRP's moment in the spotlight. Meta said no to Bitcoin. But if this is true, now these are all rumors, Meta would gain access. If they chose XRP, they could gain access to XRP and a powerful payments ecosystem. Bitcoin is slower. Bitcoin doesn't have all the features that the XRP ledger has, or XRP, or even RLUSD. So they can use that whole suite of products to integrate it into Meta's system, and even create a powerful payment ecosystem. Neither company has confirmed these talks, but investors are watching closely. There's a lot of companies out there that are stockpiling XRP already. Weebus International announced a $300 million XRP purchase for reserves. Vivo Power raised $121 million to add XRP to its treasury. They also have backing from a Saudi prince. There's also, last week, Monday or Tuesday, a new Dubai real estate tokenization platform that allows investors to buy fractional ownership in Dubai properties. Just announced their plans to allow people to do this on the XRP Ledger network. A lot of these things are happening right now. And a lot of people come in and say a lot of these moves are mirroring early corporate adoption patterns seen in Bitcoin from 2018 to 2020. You'll see demand was growing despite all the regulatory uncertainty. Remember, Bitcoin from the years of 2018 to 2020 had a lot of regulatory uncertainty as well. People don't remember that period because a lot of people gave up and moved and looked away. I've been in crypto every single day since 2011 almost. Now, 2018, I remember I was at a Bitcoin conference in Miami. It was in January of 2018. And that was the first time I'd ever seen half the conference was lawyers. During that time, I remember I went to that conference. Man, it was so many lawyers there, and they were scaring everybody to death. Going around telling people that there's going to be CCs coming down, you need to hire me, whatever. Man, I'm telling you, that conference was half lawyers. And that's when KYC started. You got to remember, a lot of you guys got in crypto the last 5 years. Before January of 2018, you could buy crypto with no ID, no nothing. You could go into an exchange, you put in your email address, you could start trading like that before 2018. 2018, early that year, the SEC started putting out all this stuff. It was a lot of regulatory uncertainty from 18 to 20. And people don't remember that. And this feels like what's happening right now with XRP. Ripple also sent a letter to the XRP. They wanted clarification on when tokens stop being securities.